Okay, this should be live momentarily. I am going to be trying out my first stream today, so we're going to post this real quick. I have the link and I'm going to send it to Discord and have some people join in, and hopefully this will work out. So give me a moment here to get all set up. Okay, here we go. Let's see if anybody's in yet. Giving this a second to warm up. Should be live here momentarily, just waiting for people to join. This will be interesting to see if this works out. I did a bunch of tests yesterday, so I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we will see. And all right. Once I get a few people in, I will begin here. Let's see if this works. Okay. So we'll just wait a second for some people to join in, but I am ready to go. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my very first day of streaming. Let me join in on the chat real quick. Okay, we're good. So let me know how I sound. This is the first time I've done a live stream. I did a ton of tests yesterday, trying to make sure that I could get everything good and working. I'm using a Open Broadcast Studio, so it's the first time that I've done a live stream, but I wanted to try it out. I've actually been wanting to live stream for a while, and I just never had the time to sit down and figure it out. And now that I've got some extra time because of the shutdown, I figured, what the heck, why not try something new? So let's see. We've got hey, it's Killjoy saying with a face cam, and then we've got Son Goku saying, hey Chris, hello guys, thanks for jumping in. And we got Fabian. All right, well that's 3 viewers, so I think that's enough to dive in here. So yeah, just to recap, I am playing World of Warcraft Classic. For those of you who don't know, this is an MMO, and it's my favorite MMO. Not that I have played that many of them, but it's really, really fun, and I've been wanting to show it off for a while because with some of the extra time with a shutdown, I figured you guys would get a kick out of checking this out. Okay, who else we got in the chat? We got Aethine, for now, psych. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. But anyway, let's just jump right in. So, for those of you who don't know, the way that World of Warcraft works is it's your standard MMO. You create a character. I created a human warrior called Sly Rider. He's level 1. These guys are more tanky. And basically, we're going to go and get some quests, and I'm going to show you how to play vanilla World of Warcraft. I have a few add-ons installed that's a little bit more advanced, but what I have is one called Classic Codex that is super handy, and it pops up on the map where I need to go. So you'll see here the very first quest is they want us to kill some of these kobold vermin, and then we're going to get another one over here, and I think that this one is going to be asking me to kill wolves. And it is. So we're going to pull that up. Wolves across the border. Yeah, so World of Warcraft is extremely fun. It is one of those games where you can just relax, kick back, and just chill. And I actually really, really like the starter area for humans here because you can kind of just do your thing. And I actually have quite a bit of nostalgia for this game because I first played it way back in 2006 when Vanilla came out. And over the years, for those of you who aren't that familiar with the WoW franchise, they released more and more expansions, and it split the community. Some people liked the changes, some did not. And I only played one of the expansions. I played Burning Crusade, but I really liked Vanilla, so when they re-released Classic last fall, I thought, you know what, it's time to get back in, come back to Azeroth, and have some fun here. All right, let's check the chat real quick. Athine says, I really prefer watching people play WoW over actually playing. My family tried to get me into it, and it's just not my cup of tea. You know, I get that. There are some games that I prefer watching more than I prefer playing, and sometimes that's just what you got to know. All right, so hey, it's Killjoy says, I want to get into it. Instead, I got sent to League of Legends, but that's a bit different. Oh, man. I never got into League, but I heard that that game is really, really addicting. Yeah. Oh, man. I heard stories from friends. I was afraid to get into that one. Let me know how the quality is, guys. I know there's probably like a 20-second delay from me talking to when you're going to see this in the chat, but let me know if you can see me and hear me clearly, and if it's streaming okay. Because like I said, I did a whole bunch of tests yesterday, and I'm not sure if I got it all working. In the tests I did, it seemed to be good, but hopefully, you know, on your end it sounds good. Okay, 6 people watching now. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so what's interesting about live streaming is I was really paying attention to YouTube and like the meta of where everybody was at from about 2008 to maybe 2012 or 13. And around the time that Twitch got really popular and live streaming got popular, I kind of tuned out. And I never really looked into it. And then, you know, Richie got super into live streaming, and whenever he did, I always thought it looked really fun, but I never took the time to actually learn how to do it on my own. I haven't even touched this channel, the Silver Shadow 721 channel, since I was doing Wiki Ouija back in like 2011. Ooh, level 2. So I thought, you know what? What would be something fun? And I decided World of Warcraft would be the thing I wanted to try out. It's nice because I can kind of multitask here. I can have my guy on auto attack while I'm reading the chats. But yeah, I figured this was the perfect game to try something out. And oh, we got this plus complete, but I'll kill this guy. I figured this was the perfect game to try something out because it's a little bit easier to multitask. Okay, coming back to the chat. Athine says, maybe if WoW adds side quests for raising snails, I'll pick it up again. / joking. Well, it's worth a try. If you've never played World of Warcraft before, I definitely recommend it because, well, I recommend it if you like RPGs. It is a subscription-based game, so you have to pay, what is it, like $15 a month or something, which can be a bit of a turnoff. But I really like it, and the reason I like it is it's from a previous time. Hey, Richie joined the chat. Hey, thank you, Richie. Hello, thank you for joining. Thank you for thanking everybody for watching my stream. Richie, how's it look on your end? I'm curious if the quality looks good. Maybe you can let me know while I go and kill these kobolds. Oh yeah, I gotta turn this quest in real quick. But yeah, like I was saying, one of the things I really like about World of Warcraft Classic is, remember, this game came out at the end of 2004 originally. And it was back in a day when there weren't that many microtransactions. Rich says, looks and sounds great. Hey, it's Killjoy says, anything for Cousin Ouija. Thank you. Glad it's good. Yeah, it came out at a time when there weren't a bunch of microtransactions. Or like these, one of the things that kind of annoys me about modern day gaming is they have these like time-gated gimmicks to try and get you to log in every day, which I get why developers do that because they want you to play the game more, but it always annoys me because it's like if you have these games where it's like, oh, log in every day to get a streak, and you miss a day, then you got to start over, and then it personally, I just get kind of frustrated, and then I I don't want to play the game anymore. Whereas I like a game like this because they don't have any of that gimmicky modern gaming stuff. It's just you play the game and you get what you get. And if you don't want to play for a few days, you can kind of play at your own pace and you don't have to worry about missing these time-gated streaks. So anyway, that's why I like World of Warcraft Classic. Checking the chat here again. Rich is being very talkative in the chat. Appreciate that. Anyway, so I'm curious, question for you guys in the chat. Has anybody who's watching now ever played any of the World of Warcraft games? So I'll wait a second and see if any of you guys have ever played before, because I'm kind of curious if I'm the only one. I know Rich played very briefly back in the day. In fact, I remember Rich and I were both playing two different MMOs. I think Rich was on Final Fantasy 11, and I was playing World of Warcraft. And then Rich briefly jumped into World of Warcraft, and then we both realized we should probably spend our times making YouTube videos instead of playing video games, because I was definitely really addicted back in the day. I didn't quite have the self-control to play in moderation, but now I do. One of the nice things about getting older. Okay, just checking the chat again. Let's see here. Athine says, I don't remember which one. My family tried to get me into it, but that was back in 2013 to 2015, I believe. Yeah, I know. It's been out for a while, so people have kind of jumped in and out. Fabian says, never played WoW. Rich says he's done Guild Wars, Final Fantasy 14, Old Republic. All better than WoW. Well, I know Rich and I have a slightly different taste in gaming. I'll admit I have not played any of those games, so I would not actually be able to compare, but I think I have a soft spot for World of Warcraft because I got into it at a time in my life when I had never played an MMO before, so since this was my very first experience playing a game that was an MMO, now I kind of judge every other MMO based off of that. Kind of like with platforming, the very first platformer game I ever played was actually Banjo-Kazooie. So I judge every single platformer now based on how Rareware did theirs, and it kind of it makes it so when you have a really, really good experience with one of your, your first games on a certain genre, every time you play after that, you just kind of compare it to there. Okay, how are we doing in the game? So I'm at 6 out of 10 Kobold Vermins. We'll keep on going here. Let's see how the chat is doing. Do people still actively play the classic WoW? What's interesting is a ton of people were playing back in end of August, beginning of September of 2019 when they re-released it. And then there was kind of a break and people were stopping playing. But with the coronavirus and the shutdown, a ton of people have gotten back into it because everybody's stuck at home and has nothing else to do. And I was one of them. So I noticed that there was a big uptick. In fact, there were a bunch of queues on the servers, and Blizzard had to introduce layering again so that more people could get in. Ooh, I just hit level 3. All right. So what does Athine say here? Pretty sure the only MMO I ever spent time on as a kid was Wizard 101. I never played that. I did hear of RuneScape, though. Fabian says he played RuneScape back in 2006. I know that that was really popular back in the day. Okay. We are almost done with this quest. And then finally I can vendor my stuff and turn this in and get some more stuff. Okay. Here's a fun question for the chat. So, World of Warcraft is my favorite MMO. Here's a question for you guys. What is your favorite video game of all time? Because for a while, I think I would say mine was Banjo-Kazooie for the reasons I mentioned before. But I'll let you guys answer that question while I'm vendoring everything here. Okay. One of the nice things about this game is you get a lot of better items. So, for example, my guy, he wears mail, so like I can wear cloth, mail, and leather. Cloth is the lowest amount of armor, leather has a bit more, mail has the most. And then I get shields too, so this shield is 5 armor. My new one has 32, so we're going to equip that, get rid of this one. Don't need the apple, don't need the tooth. Leather is going to be better than what I currently have because I'm wearing feet that don't even have armor, so we're going to swap that out. Put the glove on because I don't have any others. Pop on the pants. And then we're going to get rid of all this. Pop on that belt. And then pop on that wrist. Boom. Look at that. My guy's already getting kind of decked out. Okay. So that gave the chat a little bit of time to catch up. So let's see what I missed. Ah, there's Rich. Rich said his favorite video game is Chrono Trigger. Great choice. Great choice, Rich. I've never played that one, but I've heard Rich talk a ton about it. So I know that is many people consider that one of the greatest video games ever made. And then let's see what else we got in the chat here. Pikmin was my childhood favorite, says Zythan. Yeah, that was a great game. I really like that one. It's not easy. There's tons of fantastic games, says Ithine. Hey, it's Killjoy says Ocarina of Time. Oh man, Ocarina. That one was really, really, really good. Yeah, that might be one of my favorites too. It's kind of tight for me with Banjo-Kazooie. Fabian says mine is what did you say? Metroid? Super Metroid, mostly because of the atmosphere and the brilliant world design. Yeah, that franchise is really, really good. Okay, so I just got my first move, so we're going to grab that. That's Battle Cry. Basically, all that does is it increases my, what is it, my attack power? Yeah, increases my attack power, but so we'll use that in a sec. Anyway, let's check the chat. Rich says, number 1, Chrono Trigger. Number 2, Chrono Trigger. You know, Richie, I think it depends on the day of the week, because there was a while where you were saying Final Fantasy VIII was your favorite. But I'll respect the Chrono Trigger because I know that you're really obsessed with that game. Okay, next question in a similar vein for you guys. What is your favorite video game console of all time and why? Mine was the N64, but it is closely followed by the GameCube. I played a lot of Smash Bros. Melee and Animal Crossing. All right, we got Mega Shadow in the chat. Yo, Crid. Welcome. Welcome. I'll let you guys answer that question because I know there's a bit of a delay here. And while you guys are answering that question, I'm going to start killing these guys. Oh, I'm mislooting this. Okay. Now he says my name correctly. Thank you. All right, checking the chat here. Ithine says, GameCube was my favorite to play. Dreamcast will always have a special place in my heart. Oh, man. The Dreamcast was too short-lived. I did not have a Dreamcast, but I remember the Hollywood Video we used to rent videos at had one, and I remember having a lot of fun playing that first Sonic Adventure game. Okay, what does Rich say? I said 8 or a minute to rebel against people who hate it. It's a great game that deserves recognition, but it's not the best. I respect that, Richie. I respect that. And by the way, I wanted to, you guys probably already saw this, but I wanted to give a quick highlight to Rich. He has been doing the Rich Show, which if you guys are in here, you probably all saw, but he just did a recent video on Animal Crossing, which was a pretty good review that him and Jax did. So if you haven't seen it yet, I would absolutely recommend checking that out because he did definitely a good job editing it. Okay, going back to the chat here. Fabian says GameCube was his favorite because it was the first console that was only mine. Oh, I get that, and I think that there's something to it because I remember I had friends who had NESs and Super Nintendos, but the first console that I owned that was mine was the Nintendo 64. And there's something special about having your own console. Like when you've got a game that's all yours and you can play it whenever you want pretty much. Especially when you're like, you know, a young kid, because geez, I was probably 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 when I was really playing the 64 a lot. That really gave me a ton of nostalgia for that console. Hey, we've got 9 people in the chat. By the way, thanks for watching, guys. I had no idea if anyone was going to see this or if anyone was even going to be entertained. It's kind of funny just chatting to myself here and chatting with you guys. But I'm happy that I've got a small, loyal audience. Really appreciate that. And yes, watch Rich's Animal Crossing review. It is very good. And I know that Rich is working on some other stuff that will be revealed shortly on new Rich Alvarez show stuff. He's been working really hard to kind of relaunch the channel, so you should check that stuff out. Okay, what does Athine say? Athine? I hope I'm saying your name correctly, by the way. We grew up with an NES, and I was terrible at it. GameCube was the first one that the games made sense to me, and I could learn how to beat over time. I know how that is when you finally start to get good enough at a game, and you start to enjoy it more. That's when gaming gets a little bit magical. Okay, I've only got 4 of these guys. Mega Shadow says, it's been a while since you made a video on this channel, LOL. Yeah, it has. All my time back in the day was usually spent making collaborative videos with Rich on the Rich Alvarez channel. And I think the last time I made a video on this was Wiki Ouija back in 2011. So I figured, you know what? It's time to do something on here. And it's interesting because I don't even think you can live stream on YouTube unless you have 1,000 subscribers. So I guess I appreciate you, you loyal folks for sticking it out here, because I think 6,000 subscribers on this channel, which is pretty impressive for a channel that I haven't touched for 9 years. So I appreciate you guys staying subscribed so that I can have access to streaming. Okay, let's check the chat again. Hey, it's Killjoy says, cut to me in the corner waiting for the third wiki Regi. Maybe I'll finally have to do that. Alyssa Loksana says, what server are you playing on? I'm actually on Thunder Fury right now. That is one of the Pacific servers if anybody has Classic WoW. Right now I'm just playing by myself, but if you guys enjoy this and this is, you know, something you want to see more of, I would be down to maybe try and organize some kind of a collaborative fan meetup to play with any of you that are currently on right now. But yeah, I'm currently on Thunder Fury. It's one of the more populated PvP realms on WoW Classic, and it's full. Oh, snap! I just got a small brown pouch. Okay, for those of you that don't know, that's actually a really rare drop this early in the game, because now I have a little bit more inventory. Oh, heck yes. That is sweet. Whew, I was wondering if I was going to get any of those. Alyssa, do you play World of Warcraft currently? Because if you were asking what server I was on, that means you've either played before or you're currently playing, so I'm kind of curious. Rich says nature calls. Well, thanks for jumping in here, Rich. I appreciate you jump starting the chat, and Godspeed, buddy. Okay, let's see what the rest of you guys say. Hey, it's Killjoy says, if this goes on, I might just download WoW. I think my laptop can handle it. Yeah, because it's an older game, you can easily play it on older computers. You can just turn the settings down, and it still, in my opinion, it still looks pretty good. If you want to max the settings out, you have a newer computer, you can still, you know, you can still make it look pretty good. I think I have the settings on max here, so this gives you an idea of what it looks like. Okay. Going back to the chats here. Alyssa says, yes, absolutely. That'd be so fun. I play on an RP PvP server, and it is amazing. Yes, I play on Deviant Delight. Nice! Yeah, I've never played on a RP server before, but I've heard that it could be pretty fun when people get in character. That's those are the guys that that make the game really fun. Hey, it's Killjoy says, what? Spaced out. Mega Shadow says, how's quarantine treating you? You know, quarantine's actually been pretty nice, and I'll tell you guys why. I know that it's been affecting different people in different ways, so for those that are, you know, struggling, obviously my heart goes out to you. I personally felt like I was overcommitted and had a lot going on in my life, and I didn't have time to sit down, catch my breath, and like think about, you know, new hobbies I wanted to pick up. Case in point, streaming for a while has been something that I've been wanting to do, and yeah, I decided, why not pick up a new hobby? So here we are. Let's see here. Athine says, I'm going to drop off to get back to my terrarium work, but I'd be happy to drop in a future stream if these keep up. Happy question, Chris. Thank you, Athine. Appreciate you dropping in. This might be the first of many. I'm at 10 now, so I can go turn this in. Let's see here. And then Alyssa says, yeah, it's honestly really cool. The community on Deviant Delight is wonderful. It seems to attract a lot of good folks. That's cool. You know, that's what can make or break these games. If you've got a cool group of friends and a cool community, it can be pretty magical. Okay, here's another fun video for you guys. I imagine most of you are Rich Alvarez fans. So next question for those of you in the chat. What is your favorite Rich Alvarez video that you look back on the most fondly? And I'll give a second for the chat to catch up here so you guys can answer that question while I am going through and vendoring. This is one of the most tedious parts of the game, but it's also fun just making sure that out of all the new items that you picked up, you're getting, you know, the one that has the best armor. Ooh, that's an upgrade for me. Let's pop that in. And then once the chat catches up here, I will see what you guys are saying and see what your favorite video is. And we'll go kill more kobolds in the meantime. Okay, let's check the chat again. Hey, it's Killjoy says nice day for a car wash. That was a good one. I remember that. That was an old one. I'm impressed that's not even a SMB related video. Fabian says the RMA Christmas video of 2010 is timeless. You know, I gotta hand it to Doug Orofino, the guy who plays Waluigi. He wrote that one and did a really good job capturing that like documentary office feel. But yeah, that was a really creative video, and it was kind of different than the ones that we typically did. I'm glad you remember that. That was a good one. And then let's see what Alyssa says here. My SO and I were going through the whole SMB series yesterday and laughed so much. I feel like they make me laugh so much in a way that the internet just doesn't now. You know, I know what you mean. There's kind of like this old YouTube charm. It's a little bit hard to explain, but maybe you guys will know what I'm talking about. But back in the day, YouTube, like I'm thinking like 2007 to 2010 or 11 YouTube, it had this like simple charm of people just in their backyard making videos with their friends. It wasn't overly produced. It wasn't like these big budget things where people were trying to, be Hollywood. People weren't just using YouTube because they wanted to make millions. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I feel like kind of that backyard charm of the early 2000s. It's hard to explain, but I think SMB captured that, and I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, Alyssa says, Doug is so great. Mega Shadow says, I like the Super Mario drive-thru pranks. I'm glad you like those. Those were fun. I remember there was, I think the Starbucks one where the guy asked what he wanted, and Rich says, the Italian roast, and then the guy just starts playing along in a Mario voice. That was a good one. Fabian says, man, you took the words right out of my mouth, Chris. Yeah, I know. The YouTube was a lot simpler back in the day. Hey, it's Killjoy says the Christmas party RMA is my kid's sisters and I yearly tradition. I'm glad you like that. I have a lot of videos that I'll go back and watch. Okay, Sun Goku says I rewatch SMP all the time and just finished all of Plumber Night again last week. Dang, that's impressive. Yeah, that first season of Plumber Night, I remember really enjoying the big lead up to the reveal on who the Koopa was. I remember that was really fun to make. Okay, let's see what's next. Mega Shadow says, I enjoyed all the 2013 sketches. Yeah, 2013 had some good ones. We did some holiday videos like for, I think, Halloween, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. Fabian says, 2008 to 2010 is still so nostalgic to me. I think back to that time a lot. Yeah, it was definitely a simpler time. All right, next question for the chat. Let's see what you guys think about this one. So do you guys remember how you first discovered the Rajavarus channel? I'm always really curious about that to see if you guys remember how you randomly stumbled upon our channel. So I'll wait here for a sec for your guys' answers to catch up in the chat, and then I'll see what you guys say. Alyssa says, yeah, I loved your holiday skits. Hey, it's Killjoy says, I have trust issues because of the Plumber Night reveal. Yeah. Sorry about that. Alright, we got 8 out of 12 here, so I'm almost done this one. Ooh, 11 watching right now. Thanks for watching, guys. If I didn't say it before, I'll say it again. This is the very first time I've ever live streamed by myself. First time I've touched this channel in forever. Had no idea how this was going to work out or if you guys are going to like it, but I've actually been having quite a bit of fun chatting with you guys. So, thanks for joining me on this lovely Saturday afternoon. Just need one more. Ooh, I think that's an upgrade for me, right? 63 armor versus my nothing. So let's put that in there. And then this is male, so 37 armor versus my 17. Let's pop that in. I've got 2 cloaks. They're both the same, so we'll pop one of those on. And then gloves are still the same. Okay, cool. Let's head back. In fact, I could probably hearth back once I kill this last guy. Okay, let's check the chat, because I think that should give you guys time to have caught up now. Okay, Son Goku says, came across an episode during Season 2 and then immediately watched all of Season 1 to catch up. Man, that is impressive. Yeah, Season 2, let me think here, that was 2008. Summer of 2008, so you've been watching for a while, man. Okay, we can hearth out of here now. Fabian says, someone posted an RMA video on a forum in 2008, and I got hooked ever since. Yeah, we used to post a lot in the forums back in the day. I remember there was something called the Insider forums, which was the official Nintendo forums. I used to post there pretty actively. And then we had RMA Rich Alvarez forums for a while, too. So I know forums were obviously a big way to discover new stuff back in the day. Okay, we're gonna get these boots. Pop those on, accept this quest.
For the Alliance.
Let me equip this. And then I'll read some more of the chats. Okay, Alyssa says, I think in kindergarten... Oh wait, sorry, not Alyssa, here we go. Alyssa says, oof, I don't remember how I first found you guys, but I'm glad I did, haha. Well, I'm glad you did too. Mega Shadow says, I think in kindergarten I was on YouTube, and I guess I was probably watching Mario videos, and I stumbled across the first episode of SMB. Now I'm going to be 18 years old by this September. Time flies. Wow, you've been watching for a while. That's like your whole childhood. Well, thanks for sticking around. Alyssa says, aw. Mega, I was in high school watching them upload. Yeah, well, I was in high school making them. And then a little bit of college. It's Killjoy says, so that is a core memory, because... remember that very vividly. My sister and I were watching Super Mario Logan, and episode 6 was in recommended. Yeah, the YouTube recommended system, it used to work better back in the day. I feel like they don't really promote the way that they used to. I know we probably talked about this, but YouTube super changed the algorithm and made it a lot harder to discover new stuff now. But that's just how it goes. And then we'll head over and do this next quest, and I'll keep on reading your chats. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Son Goku says, since I was 13, LOL. I turned 25 next month. Sorry if the stream is lagging here, by the way, guys. Hey, it's Killjoy says, I caught up on the series a day before the first part of Act 2 was going to be released. Oh, wow, that was... geez, probably back in like 2009, I think. Oh, I just realized. After I kill this guy, I'm going to go back and learn a couple of my new moves, because I realized I can get that at level 4 now. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Fabian says, this may be weird, but your videos actually helped me learn English back in the day. Wow, well, I'm glad that helped you, Fabian. Yeah, Alyssa says that is cool. It is cool. Had no idea. We're going to head back here and get those moves that I missed out on. Mega Shadow says, also to add, during quarantine, I've been binge watching the entire SMB series again. Well, I guess you've got the time. I have not done a sit-through of SMB for a long time, but I used to rewatch them a lot back in the day. One of the things I do like is when Rich recently uploaded the blooper compilation of all the bloopers I went through. And I watched that, and that was certainly a blast from the past. Yeah, everybody's agreeing here. Hey, it's Killjoy says, bro, same. Alyssa says, LOL, same. Cool. Here's a fun question for you guys. I'm kind of curious. Who else do you guys watch on YouTube these days? Who are the YouTubers that you guys follow? Because I used to watch a lot back in the day, and man, I am not in the know. Like, way back in the day, I used to watch Ray William Johnson and Equals 3, and I used to watch Philip DeFranco, and Kasim G, like, and Smosh. I really like Smosh back when Ian and Anthony were still together. So I am curious who you guys are watching these days. Okay, I just got my new moves set up and macroed, and now I can actually fight a little bit more efficiently. And then I'll wait for the chat to catch up and see who you guys are watching. Because yeah, right now, I don't really watch that many people. I'm realizing if I'm going to be more active in the YouTube community again, it might be good for me to figure out who's cool these days, who's making good content, you know, get inspired. Fabian says too many to mention. That's fair. Son Goku says same. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, I got some new moves, so this will be a bit faster now. Alyssa says, I mainly watch Japan vloggers, not game-based video creators now. I travel to Japan every so often, so it's nice to see the country when I'm not there. Yeah, I get that. Sometimes it's nice to switch it up and maybe do something that's not gaming related anymore. Hey, it's Killjoy says, I watch a lot of art channels and anime channels like CDAO GWA. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, I've never heard of that. Oh, there is a YouTuber I started watching recently. I think his name is Super Eyepatch Wolf, if I'm saying that right. He does reviews of anime. And watching him, I learned about some anime that I'd been wanting to get into but hadn't watched. Maybe that'll be my next question for you guys. How about that? What's your guys' favorite anime? And which ones are you into these days, if you're into anime? Because I actually have quite a bit of anime that I got into because of Richie, and then I took a break for a while, and then I got into some new ones more recently. But I'll finish up that previous question here. Okay, let's see. Mega Shadow says, I watch SML, Guava Juice, McJuggernuggets, and a bunch of other people. Alyssa says, Charmeleon and Abroad in Japan. Fabian says, I like the Game Grumps, Let's Plays, and the Critical Role, a D&D channel. Yeah, I used to watch Game Grumps way back in the day when JonTron was on it, but I haven't checked those guys out in ages. Okay, I'm fighting two guys here. CRPC says, Chris, you got me into piano covers way back when you first started uploading on this channel. Effort Troll has tons of great and relaxing covers, some out in public. Well, I'm happy to hear that, CRPC. Yeah, gosh, that was a long time ago. I briefly got into piano covers, and actually it was Richie who got me into piano covers, because he is very talented musically and used to make a lot of piano covers and a lot of piano playing that never even made it onto YouTube, but that inspired me, and I learned a few, mostly because I wanted to be like him. I haven't done it for a while, but that'd be something fun to get back into. I guess now's the time. Alyssa says, oh, also Tokidoki Traveler. Cool. Hey, it's Killjoy says, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Oh, man. Full Metal Alchemist. Ain't that the quintessential anime to get into anime? I watched the original back in the day, and then eventually watched Brotherhood when it came out, and wow. Obviously, I won't spoil it for you guys, but in my opinion, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood has one of the most satisfying anime endings I've ever seen. Like, just such a good amount of closure you get with those characters. Mega Shadow says, I'm not really an anime person. No worries, it's not for everybody. But based on some of these recommendations, Full Metal Alchemist is definitely a good one to start with if you're ever curious. Alyssa says, I like lighter stuff than I used to. Things that encourage you to go after your dreams. Well, that's inspiring. I'm actually kind of curious, Alyssa, if you could share which ones inspire you to go after your dreams, because I could probably use some new anime to get into. Okay, let's see what else we got on here. Marty Man says, hi, Chris. Hello, Marty Man. Welcome to the chat. Fabian says, I only ever watch Pokemon, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, oh man. Guys, I got deep into Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Rich introduced me to that, and that might be my favorite anime of all time. Um, I know it's a huge commitment, but holy smokes, if you like anime, that one has it's a journey and it's pretty cool. Marty Man says you do WikiWiji live. You know, it's been almost 10 years. Maybe it's about time. I still have the Luigi hat. I'll have to bust that out and do WikiWiji live one of these days. I bet that'd be a kick. Hey, it's Killjoy says it's the only anime that gave me closure. Yeah, I agree on that. Full Metal. Oh, what a good one. Okay, Son Goku says, you guys, McJugger, Nuggets, Boogie, some anime content and fighting game tournaments. Yeah, there's that's the thing with YouTube. There is so much content now. It's hard to be in the same thing as everybody else. Son Goku says, I'm a big Dragon Ball, Naruto, and One Piece fan. Yeah, I never got into One Piece, but I've heard that if you like Naruto, it's a really good one to get into. So that should probably be on my list. Alyssa says Yu Yu Hakusho, You're on Ice, and Supersonico. Oh man, Yu Yu Hakusho. I never finished that one. I got about halfway through it, and I was super into it like 12 years ago. It's been a while. Fabian says this is kind of like WikiWiki, except Ouija asks us questions. In Soviet Russia, Ouija wiki you. Fabian says, "Oh boy, Richie's Naruto phase. I remember that. Yeah. We had a bunch of ninjas and Stupid Mario Bros. Because we were super into Naruto at the time, which I guess that would have put us at what, like 2011 or something. Ah, that was fun." GForge Games 1 says, I'm more of a Bleach fan. You know, that's another one I've heard good things about. I'll have to check that one out, because I know that that's constantly one of those anime that always comes up in, like, top 10 anime you've got to check out if you're an anime fan. Marty Man says, Chris, was there ever something Richie wanted you to do that you don't want to do? Not really. We've been doing YouTube videos for a long time, and one of the things, if you guys ever have like a friendship that turns into a bit of a business partnership, it's all about just talking about what each want. I mean, we've had things definitely where I wanted to do something one way and he wanted to do something another way, but ultimately we've got a pretty strong friendship. We both know that at the end of the day, we want everything to be win-win. So it's all about compromise and just making sure that you communicate what you want. Hopefully that answers your question. Son Goku says, actually playing Naruto Storm 4 on my Switch right now as I watch this. LOL, just launched on the Switch yesterday. Nice. I've never played any of the Naruto video games, but you'll have to let me know how that is. By the way, what's everybody's Nintendo Switch game? I'm actually really curious to hear that. I know that it's only been out for a couple of years, but tell me what Switch game you have enjoyed the most. Mega Shadow says, what's your favorite SMB episode? Ooh, that's a good question. My favorite one is the JMK episode from season 2. And I forget what the name is. It might have been 19 or it might have been 22. God, all the numbers blur together. But it's the one where we had Scott Masterson come in. And I don't know why. I think it's probably just because it was such a goofy break. And it was a longer 3-parter, and I just thought it was fun that we were making music and pretending to be in a band. So, yeah. Hey, it's Killjoy says, Wiki Ouija you. Chris audibly laughed. I'm in public, man. Well, glad to see I can still make you guys laugh. Alyssa says, haha, nice. I can go turn this quest in now. This is pretty chill, guys. I am having a good time. I'm glad you're joining me. Okay, let's get the rest of these. Fabian says, sometimes I play Real life in between Animal Crossing sessions. Real life? What's that? I get what you mean, though. GeForge Games says Breath of the Wild. Yeah, Breath of the Wild. That's probably my favorite one. Oh man, I've sunk a lot of time into that game. I haven't even beat it yet. I'm just having so much fun running around, finding shrines, and not really, not really progressing the game. Just collecting stuff to cook. Hey, it's Killjoy says 22. Fabian says 8. Okay, yeah. You guys are talking about favorite episodes. Cool, cool. Uh, Marty Van says, so Super Banjo first originated as the Amazon scammer to Ash's Pokeball in Dumb Episode 13. Anything that originated it before that video? Great question. I came up with the name because way back in the day, there was a forum called Game Talk. So when I was like 11 and I first started using the internet, I Googled game chat or game talk, and I found it was basically just a forum. Probably doesn't even exist anymore. But you had to make a username, and I was playing Banjo Tooie at the time. And Banjo Tooie, one of the cheat codes is Super Banjo that makes you run super fast, and I thought that was kind of cool, so I used that, and the name kind of stuck. Son Goku says, I have over 500 hours in Smash Bros. Ultimate and have won tournaments in my area. I love Smash the most. Hey, that's impressive. I know it takes a long time to get good at Smash, so keep up the good work, man.
See you around.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Mega Shadow says, Scott Masterson is one of my favorite characters. Nice. Marty Man says, my top Switch game is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Fun game. Afro Gamer Dude says, I bought Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Should I strap in for disappointment? Yes, you should. Marty Man says, I meant to say SMB, but autocorrect messed it up. With dumb. Yeah, that's how it goes. Hey, it's Killjoy says, I just got into the Switch, so I'm new and like Luigi's Mansion 3 for now. Yeah, I remember Luigi's Mansion 1. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I haven't played 3 yet, but let me know how you like it. Alyssa says Banjo Tooie. Fabian says, not sure if he answered this 10 years ago, but what is the origin of Silver Shadow 721? You know, it's not as interesting as the Super Banjo name. It was my AOL screen name. I don't even remember why I came up with it. I was just trying to think of something cool that sounded interesting to 13-year-old me, and I came up with that, and then I kept it for YouTube, and here we are. Anyway, let me vendor all my stuff, and then I think we're going to wrap up here in a sec, because I've probably been going for almost an hour here. But let me see. Well, anyway, guys, I'm actually going to wrap up and call it here. But I wanted to say thank you very much for watching. This is the first time that I've ever made a solo video on my own. It's the first time I've streamed. It's the first time I've used this channel in forever. So I just wanted to say I had a good time chatting with you guys. I had no idea what the turnout was going to be, but it's kind of neat to see that, you know, you guys jumped in and are enjoying it. I had fun asking you guys about your favorite video games and talking about anime. So, yeah, with that said, I'm going to sign off here. I'm just waiting for the comments to catch up so I can see you guys say goodbye. But yeah, I had a good time. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'll probably post the replay once YouTube processes it, so you guys can watch this again if you missed any parts. And if you guys enjoyed this, let me know, and I am probably going to try and do this again. World of Warcraft is a game I'm super into right now, and it's pretty chill. And it's a little bit easier to multitask. But yeah, there we go. All the comments have caught up. Everyone's saying goodbye. Well, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody who joined the chat. Hey, it's Killjoy, GeForge Games, Alyssa, Mega Shadow, Fabian, Marty Man, and anybody else I missed from earlier. Thank you for watching. I'm going to sign off now, so you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Peace out.